Money FM 89.3, the best of the afternoon update.
Welcome to Good Tech. It's a weekly segment where we take an inspiring look at innovative technology and ways it is used to drive impactful social change. Today, we're diving into a topic that's close to everyone's heart, keeping our community safe in an increasingly digital world. As we get used to protecting ourselves from traditional scams like phone calls and text messages, scammers have shifted to social media platforms using new methods to deceive and exploit. Singapore saw a 28% increase in social media scams in 2024. And with this number growing every year, what tools do we have to protect ourselves from such cybersecurity threats? Well, I'm really pleased to have the founders of an innovative platform join me today. Now, their platform is empowering citizens to report suspicious activity and combat scams in Singapore. It's called Scam Hunt. Let's speak with them now. Kazimir Rabieh, Ibrahim Eluat, and Ramesh Gopal Krishnan. Welcome, guys.
Hi. Hello. Hi, Linda. Thank you for having us.
Now, let's dive right in. To start, could you tell us a bit about your platform? What inspired you to create a service that allows citizens to report suspicious activity and help reduce scams in Singapore?
So, actually, the three of us met at Build for Good. It's a month-long hackathon organized by Open Government Products. And I think we just organically met and we wanted to do some good. And one of the problems that we identified was the growing scams on social media. Mm-hmm. The government's already doing a lot to reduce scams in other spaces. So we saw there's been an increase in social media scams in general on Meta platforms and on Telegram. So as we started exploring what are the challenges that people face while reporting these scams on these platforms, we saw an opportunity to build something that's very simple for anyone to use and report their scams.
Fascinating. Sounds like you're creating a very active role for the public in crime prevention as well. So how does the platform actually work? Walk us through the process.
So basically what we've developed is a Telegram bot where people who come across different scams on social media could actually take a screenshot, upload it to our Telegram bot, and what our bot does is it uses large language models and AI technology to extract information from the screenshot. That could be information such as the post content, any links shared in the post, emails, phone numbers, who the poster might be. And we try to extract as much information as possible and form some kind of conclusion on whether the post might be a scam or not.
Okay. Any other features that we need to know about?
We don't only use AI technology, but we also have some other systems that can detect, for example, duplicate cases. So one of the problems that the government faces is that scams could be coming from different channels, mm-hmm. but might be coming from the same source. So it might be the same scam coming from two different channels. So one thing that we also wanted to do is try and deduplicate some of these scams and trying to identify whether they're similar. So if someone, for example, uploads two separate scams, two people upload two separate scams, then we can try and deduplicate that, analyze that as well. And on top of that, we actually show this data to authorities. We have our own internal dashboard that authorities can log into and view different trends, like what kind of scams are on the rise, the different categories, what platforms as well they're happening on.
I see. It's interesting. I also love how interactive it is in terms of engaging the public. But having said that, it's often one of the hardest parts of any initiative. How do you get people to trust the platform and actively report, especially considering how busy everyone is?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question. That was one of the challenges we faced while trying to scale this. So one of the things we realized that it makes it easier for people to just make this a little bit more invisible, right? Make it easy for them to just go about the business, and we find a way to make it easy for us to understand if something that's getting shared is potentially a scam or not. So for that, we've actually kind of extended our product line. We're trying to figure out how to build a Telegram bot for groups, because we saw that Telegram was one of the channels where scams have kind of increased by almost 95% since last year. And it's also one of the places where reporting doesn't actually make a lot of difference in terms of how the scams are actually getting taken down. So one of the things that we've done is any Telegram group admin can just use our app, use our bot, integrate it into their groups, and it will help them combat any suspicious links or posts that are in the chat.
Yeah, and sorry, just to add on to that, I would like to acknowledge also like the government's work so far in combating like online scams. I think we've heard also in the news recently, I think in the past month, they've been also collaborating with Meta platforms to beefing up their verification process for advertisers, because actually a lot of the scams happening on platforms like Meta and such, a lot of them are happening because the scammers are actually advertisers on the platform. So they can pay a bit of money to basically get their scam ad, if you will, in front of more people. So yeah, more work being done there on the government with social media. So we're also trying to explore like other avenues where we can contribute. Okay,
so how does Scam Hunt ensure that reported data is both accurate and actionable for the authorities?
Yeah, so as Casimir said, we use LLM models to extract all the data from the different screenshots or like links shared by the users. That data is then analyzed to extract some kind of like assess the risk of the image itself. And we found out that large language models, like such as using like ChatGPT and so on, are very good into like adapting to like different scams and extracting the data. And we did like we followed like a research paper by A-Star, which is research agency, and yeah, we've been doing our benchmark, and we have like a pretty good accuracy.
That's great to hear. No, safety and privacy are huge concerns for any one of us using tech in this space. How do you ensure that the personal data of users is kept secure and that the platform won't be misused?
So actually, we don't keep any data from the users themselves. We only keep the screenshot and the extracted data from the screenshots themselves that we keep in our database.
Wow, okay, it's clear that you've thought through some of the safety aspects. We all know scams are constantly evolving with new tactics, right? So what kind of trends are you seeing in the types of scams that are happening in Singapore?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, so it's not only social media, right? It's a lot of different channels, as I mentioned previously. I think there's a lot of scams happening through SMS, phone calls, and we have a lot of solutions already around that. I think government has worked on this tool called Scam Shield, which I think we see a lot advertised in public. We're just trying to like support and try and work on like those channels that are not looked at so frequently. So Telegram, I think, is one of those spaces where scams are always evolving. I think also the scams being shared, like I'm part of a few Telegram groups myself, and the scams being shared are very seasonal. So in January, for example, this one group I'm part of was sent a scam where they were advertising like CDC vouchers. And if you recall, actually, January was around the time when CDC vouchers were being dispersed. And actually one that was just sent like about a month ago was Ramadan themed. So we definitely need to adapt to like what's happening on the ground, and we're actually working on collaborating with different organizations. So right now we're actually working with GovTech. We have some internal champions at GovTech that believe in what we do, and quite empowering to have their support in working on this.
Yeah, it's amazing, and you really got to keep adapting to keep up with the changes, right? I just want to say, guys, what you're doing, leveraging technology in such a proactive way, is really commendable. So I want to know, since the time when you started this initiative, what's been the most rewarding part of seeing this platform grow and impact the community?
So for us, actually, it was a lot of assumptions that got validated, some that were proven wrong. So just learning how people already have systems in place to kind of fight these by themselves, right? We come with an assumption that people get scammed very easily, but that's not always true. And people do have existing safeguards that they have kind of put for themselves. And one of the things that we learned was also that we came with the assumption that maybe a lot of the older folks are falling for scams, but one of the largest groups where folks are falling for scams is actually like young adults, people who are 30 to 49. So just understanding how these people go about operating and still trying to safeguard themselves from scams has been actually a learning experience for us. And that's been our goal. The thing that we want to do is, it's a large problem. We need a lot of different solutions tackling smaller parts of it. We're just happy to be a part of that solution. That's it.
Any other reflections?
Yeah, we're also very thankful for Open Government Products and GovTech for trusting us and working with us. They were very helpful to build this in a fast way.
All right. It's inspiring to hear about the impact you've already made, So what's next for your platform? Are there any exciting updates or plans in the pipeline?
As we mentioned previously, we are working on collaborations with GovTech. And we're working on a new feature that maybe moving away a bit from social media, but targeting something that is also very pertinent, so Telegram scams. I think the Singapore Police Force releases bi-yearly update, and actually Telegram is one of the top channels where scams are being circulated. So if we can at least, solve 1% of that issue, that would be super fulfilling, I think.
Okay. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for sharing your vision and your journey with us today. They are Casimir Rabia, Ibrahim Iluat, and Ramesh Gopalkrishnan, the co-founders of Scam Hunt, a platform that empowers citizens to report suspicious activity and helps authorities in the battle against cyber criminals. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Thank you.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.